guys, it's Carol. How are you? Let me see if I can get Molly and Toby. I can't see where I'm pointing it, so I don't know. Where's my dogs? Where are they? Where's my dogs? There's Toby. Molly is this lump right here. We have a new blanket. It is so soft on this side, and on the inside is Sherpa. We love this new blanket. You know, I've always had a blanket on the couch behind us because the dogs like to get under the blanket and be covered up. And the kids love to be covered up, and I love to be covered up. Oh, that other blanket is a Pioneer Woman blanket. It was $14. Best blanket I have ever had. Best throw. Just soft as could be, and it's been washed a gazillion times. Well, I noticed that online you have to order it, but they have these new blankets. This is Pioneer Woman's dog, Charlie. I was trying to show you. That's her Basset Hound, Charlie. And they've gone up to $14.98, but they're lined with Sherpa. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be so warm. And in the wintertime, when I have to have the heater on, I keep it on 68. Night and day, it's on 68. That's just the temperature I want to pay for. So we sit around wrapped up in blankets a lot. It's not that cold. 68 is not that cold. After a while, you get used to it, and it's just fine. But anyway, I saw this blanket, and I saw that it had a Sherpa lining. This is not a sponsored video. Pioneer Woman has no idea who I am. Or Walmart, except I spend all my money there. So I thought we had to have this. And the kids are going to love it. I don't have them today, but when they come Tuesday or Monday night, they are going to love this blanket. Well, anyway, how you guys doing? I am doing fine. I am doing just fine. In yesterday's video, I told you how we came to have our Schnauzer Fred. He was our first Schnauzer. We called him Fred Schnauzer. Today, I'm going to tell you how we came to have our next Schnauzer. Her name was Maggie. And she was a gray Schnauzer like this. This is a page my friend Patty from Life with Patty sent me. And I love this picture. Well, one time we took Fred to Critter Camp to be groomed. Critter Camp is a place where they groom dogs and they board dogs. And they have daycare, and they have cremation. I mean, anything that they could do for a dog, they do there, except a vet. They don't have a veterinarian. When we went to pick up Fred from being groomed, there was the prettiest little gray Schnauzer running all over the place. Cute as she could be. Just, oh, we all just instantly loved her. And we were all squatting down on the floor, petting her, and the owner of this place said, would you like to have her? And I said, oh no, I don't need another dog. And she said, well, her family was traveling across country in a motorhome. They brought her to be groomed. And then when they got out of town, they drove out of town. When they got out of town, they called her and told her they would not be coming back for this dog, that they just couldn't handle her. I couldn't believe somebody would go off and leave this baby girl. I just couldn't believe that they did this. And my daughter Becky was 15. She had her first job bagging groceries. The lady said, all I want is her bill to be paid for grooming and boarding for, it was like for 2 days. She hadn't been there very long. She just wanted to get rid of her. And that's all she wanted, was her bill to be paid. So Becky said she would pay her bill. So Becky did, and we took this little dog home. We named her Maggie. The funny thing was, she and Becky had the exact same personality. They're both bossy. They're both demanding. They both need a lot of attention. They both run the show. Their personalities were exactly alike. It was so funny. We always said this was Becky personified in a dog. But we had Fred. I don't think she really liked Fred. She just tolerated him. Kind of like Becky tolerated her siblings. When Becky was the oldest of my 4 kids. She was 6 when the 4th child was born. I was pregnant with that 4th child when she went to preschool, and she came home mad as an old wet hen. At preschool, she had learned that there's something called an only child. She wanted to be an only child, but I had messed that up. She reminds me of that all the time, that she wanted to be an only child. That's kind of how Maggie was. She tolerated Fred, but I don't think they were ever going to be bosom buddies. However, when Fred got older, he became deaf and blind. I think he may have had a little bit of vision. I'm not sure. He seemed to have a little bit, but not much. But he was definitely deaf. When I opened, we lived in a house and had a fenced-in backyard. When I would open the back door to let them out in the yard, they would go out. Fred would walk right along the fence. He stayed right by the fence. I guess he felt safe knowing where he was. And when I would open the door and call them to come inside, Maggie would go herd him like herding sheep. She would herd Fred back to the back door and get him inside. If it was dinner time, and I told him, here's supper, here's your food. We had a water bowl and a food bowl for each of them, and they were in a line next to each other. She would go herd Fred over to his bowl, and she would do a nice soft little bark at him. I know that meant she was saying, Fred, this is your food. And then she'd take like 2 little steps over to her food bowl and growl and snap and bark at him. And I think she was saying, this is mine. Don't even think about eating this. This one is mine. Leave it alone. But she got him to the food dishes every single time. She was such a sweet girl. But we soon knew why her family had abandoned her. She was a good baby. Oh, she was a sweet dog. But she never hushed up. She barked about everything constantly. And if we had her in the car, we never went anywhere that we didn't take our dogs. If there was a car next to us on the street that had a dog in it, she barked like crazy. If there was a bird flying by, she barked like crazy. If we had to turn the windshield wipers on, she barked like crazy. Oh, you can't imagine what it was like when we went to the car wash. She was just the noisiest girl. She had a lot to say, and she didn't mind telling us. So we figured we needed to not think such bad things about those people. I guess if they were traveling in a motorhome, they probably couldn't take it anymore. But that's how we came to have Maggie. She was a good girl. And she loved us all. We loved her too. Okay, I guess that's it for today. Not much else going on. I'm going to stop this now. Let me know what's going on in your world. We had a day where it was not even drizzly. It was just sort of misty all day. And it's supposed to be like that again tomorrow. Fine with me, because we need any moisture we can get. And it's cool. I had to turn the heater on today. I hate that smell when you first turn a heater on. Anyway, I turned it on. When I have the heater on in my apartment, I set it at 68, and that's where it stays. It stays at 68. So, we've got the heater going, and I don't know anything else. Let me know what's going on in your world. I appreciate you guys watching. I really do. I hope you went over and watched a little of Gary's videos at GBL, the Old Church 5-acre homestead, and with Rosemary's You Rock Art. And I will talk to you in the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you giving me a thumbs up, and I appreciate you leaving me a comment. Let me know what's going on with you. You guys are my friends. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, I want to tell you one more thing. We had grass in our backyard, really nice grass, but we live in the Texas Panhandle. There are rocks everywhere. And we had some big rocks back there that I had put around the edge of the garden. Maggie chose one rock to be her pet rock. It was about this big around. I mean, it was a hefty rock. When she went out in the backyard, she would get that thing in her mouth. We couldn't even tell it was in her mouth. It was a big rock. She would bring that thing in. We had ceramic tile floors, and she would drop that rock. It would sound like a gunshot going off. Scared us every single time. But she would play with that rock. It was her favorite toy. She would scoot it all over the house and sleep with it, play with it. That was hers. That was her special rock. And what I am doing here, I don't know if I told you. I know I told you about 68 degrees twice. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, the reason I'm coloring this picture is because Monday is when everybody who's participating in Grandma Sandy's collab about coloring with friends, Monday is when everybody shows what they've been working on. So I'm trying to get this finished so that I'll have something to show on Monday. And if you want to color something and show it on Mondays, Grandma Sandy would be tickled to death to have you be a part of her collab. Okay, that's all I know today. I'm not going to tell you what the temperature is in my apartment, not one more time. I'm sorry. I forget what I'm telling you. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. This is Maggie. I forgot she had all that black fur around her eyes. But that was our Maggie girl. This was taken about 97. And this is Molly on the new blanket.